Now we're gonna talk about Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. We've gotten some new gameplay. We both watched it recently, and I gotta say, I'm blown away by this. Like, I am shocked by what the Zelda team can do with this game, and the fact that they just went above and beyond what like I expected them to do is insane.
Dude. For the longest time when it was first announced, all we were expecting was like a dark, gritty story, like kind of like what Majora's Mask did for Ocarina of
Mm-hmm.
Time. Probably keeping the same gameplay, adding dungeons instead of shrines,
Right.
and maybe more emphasis on the story. Like I said, that's
Mm-hmm.
all we were expecting. That's I think what all everybody wanted. The fact Numa just was on YouTube, just playing the game for us, and said, "Yo, you want to see what you can do? See that rock falling the sky? Let's
Mm-hmm.
just take it back up like an elevator." Like, what the fuck?
Right. And don't even get me started on the contraptions, like boats and fucking sky ships, dude. Like, bruh, like
But
the fact that you can just put them together like ease, like, and you're probably gonna get that in the start of the game too. So that's insane.
it's all I could think of. Like, dude, what drugs were they on? Like, it feels like it honestly felt like in between making the first and this one, they did like 20 lines of coke, played the first one, and just started thinking about like brainstorming like crazy ass things we can do together.
Yeah, I knew when I saw that bike from Breath of the Wild when people were using that, I was like, damn, they could do that like in this. That'd be like big traversal, awesome. And then when they started like announcing all the Sky Island stuff, I was like, dang, how am I supposed to get around if I can't do this? And then they finally showed how it was done, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, like bro, like, and it doesn't take much effort. It makes sense gameplay wise, and it's just fun. It just lands on, it just hits that point of what makes Zelda, this version of Zelda so great.
It's the creativity in that team is just astounding, and it's people kept complaining like, why does it keep getting delayed? Why is it keeping delayed? I think they need to shut up now and be happy it got delayed to the point where you got this. Like,
Right. I'm like, do you see this gameplay? Because damn, like they're killing it right now. I'm. It makes me even more curious. Like we get this game right. It just wows us like from start to finish. We have these super high expectations. All right, what's next after that? Because like they focus on traversal. That's going to be the main focus of this game. Really, is how like once you traverse the world and how efficiently you do so. I don't know what else you could do to beat that. Because
now I'm just going off speculation, but from launch to now, there's been a lot of people still playing Breath of the Wild to this day. And if you've seen on Twitter, people will find crazy ass new things you can do in Breath of the Wild alone,
oh heck yeah,
like how to kill enemies creatively, new ways of like unintentional travel, like things like that. I think they saw what people were doing with Breath of the Wild with just the basic tools they were given,
mm-hmm.
and it feels like Tears of the Kingdom just feels like, you know what? Let's open up um developer mode,
Right, just everything.
creative mode. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with the Minecraft word. They said let's just open up creative mode and see what people can really do in the next 5 years.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the next thing they did was like some kind of like Zelda Dungeon Builders thing.
I, we got a taste of that when they did the Link's Awakening remake.
Oh yeah.
I think if they want to do like a middle game in between, maybe go full on board and do like a Legend of Zelda Maker, where you take any of the 2D game assets from like OG, Super Nintendo, GBA, and probably DS.
Right.
You could probably get away with a good Zelda Maker in between, but I don't know what they're gonna go from here because like this, I have not. Breath of the Wild was one of those like once in a generation things where like a game, yeah, okay, it's putting Zelda in open world, but like it was a different feel. Like maybe everybody else had that
Mhm.
feel, but that was the first time I felt like, yo, I can do whatever I want. Like I
Right.
can really do whatever I
In
want.
any order and anything. And it's great because like it was like smart enough to be like, okay, the player knows what they're doing. They
Mhm.
got the basics down, like no problem. Let's just let them free. And it's the same thing that made Elden Ring so great too, was like they didn't give you any direction. You just go and play. Like
Exactly.
and that's what makes the game so great. And that's definitely a huge leap in like gameplay because especially for a Switch game, like that's phenomenal. Like that's the best reason I own a Switch is for Zelda right now.
The team, I just so much kudos to them for like using whatever power they had in that little device, optimizing that thing to the best of their abilities. Because on top of all that, what
Hmm.
we saw, the enemies can use like creative weapons as well. The
Right.
fact you got to think around that, and the traversal where you can like swim through fucking stone walls, whatever you want to call it, and it's
Right.
seamless. The dropping from the sky, yeah, okay. Being for real, I know it's a hidden loading screen with a loading screen, but it's not.
Right.
But the fact that it's just going and you can still do stuff while you're doing, like, well, it's happening. It's like there's technically you don't stop the game until you hit pause,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fucking great.
Right. Yeah, that's bananas. My thing about it is just like, okay, now that we have all these ways to move around and get through stuff, what kind of dangers are we gonna be facing here? Because first off, you can fly. You have a flying ship, as we saw in the trailer. So are you gonna tell me we're gonna fight like flying enemies and gonna have to either shoot them down and just
That's the scary part. What are we fucking fighting? Like we
right.
saw hints of like a couple of like the little like goblins and whatever we're gonna be fighting,
Mm-hmm.
but adding like will this be like an Assassin's Creed 3 thing where they introduce like battleship combat and people were like raved about it? Is this gonna be like Link doing like fucking cart combat, sky combat?
Oh, bro, if there's naval combat in this, that'd be pretty legit.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the boat Link's gonna be able to fight land, sea, and air. It's insane. Like
I guarantee you, watch. There's gonna be. I bet you Ganon's gonna be like. There's gonna be 4 different versions of him. There's gonna be one like underground version of him, one in the sky, one on land, and like one in water. You have to fight, major boss fight, or just some kind of like spirit of some kind.
yeah, I ain't gonna even throw this. This might be this might sound like a joke, but it's just gonna be a straight up Ganon Megazord. Dude's gonna come together as one giant thing, and you gotta build something to fight it.
Man, could you imagine that fight just like throwing you like taking cross like all across the world, but like in that single boss fight, like it just smacks you and just end up in some mountain underground and you're stuck.
That'd be.
Mine.
I don't care if I got my ass beat. That'd be fucking dope watching Link take a hit like that.
Right, I'm telling you, it just throws you like the ocean with like every phase it changes. That'd be sick. Yeah.
Oh, I was doing my best to not watch anything, but like
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize you were trying to avoid spoilers. But
you know what? It was worth it because now my hype just went through the roof. It shattered expectations.
Right. And the best thing about this game too is Nintendo doesn't do like bugs. Like I haven't seen a buggy Nintendo game ever. So I'm just like, let's just go. Like take the money at this point.
Yeah, anything in house, there's never anything bug. Usually it comes from let's just say outside source that ends up buggy on their platform, Pokemon. But no, they treat Zelda with like finesse. They don't let that shit like slip.
Oh yeah, they're not. They're really good about quality control. One other thing that actually had my attention too, and I had this problem when I was looking at Breath of the Wild gameplay. So you know how weapons break on you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in this iteration, you can just combine stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
dude! Like, you literally put like a stick on a boulder, and I was just like, now he has this huge mallet that does probably double damage. What the f? Like, dude, that was legit.
I don't care. I'm gonna make the biggest fucking like mallet out there. Mallet, fucking slap a stick. I'm gonna make shift the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. I'm gonna figure out something.
I can't even imagine what the Master Sword is gonna do. Just.
Do you even need it at this point?
Right, like when your freaking iron stick is just like more powerful than the Master Sword.
Fucking Link looks like he's just wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Anything you can do at this point.
Right. The best thing I saw so far, when people were seeing it for the first time, was all the fan art of just Link just putting things on sticks and just like whacking like goblins with it. Like he put Zelda on one, he was just like Triforce, bitch. I was like, damn, okay, like that's aggressive.
Oh my god. Everything, the creativity that's gonna come out of this game is crazy. Not just from like the actual game, but the fan art and all that shit. This game is gonna explode.
It really is. It's definitely gonna be taking over once it launches. Do we have a release date for this game?
May 12th.
Oh, of this year.
Yeah.
Damn, that soon?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's nuts. I gotta finish Breath of the Wild then.
Yep.
Wow, I did not think it was that close to us. Wow, May 12th. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. I feel bad for any game that launches in that month because damn.
Yeah, a lot of games are regretting their release dates.
Yeah, they better delay it. They still have the chance. Final Fantasy is luckily in June, so I'm not too worried about that. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. May 12th. That's wow. Go Nintendo, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know this is old news too, and this is just a little tidbit I forgot to throw in since we're talking so much about Nintendo. 3DS and Wii U stores are closed, like permanently. That's crazy to think about right now.
It is, and
go Vita.
I don't think people are making a big deal of it, blah blah blah. But like those systems have been out for a decade. Like
that's fair.
I can understand the Wii U shop closing because at this point, like whether it be digital or physical, a good chunk of that system's library are already on the Switch.
Yeah, Wii U's makes sense, but 3DS was kind of like a blow.
3DS is a blow because that thing carried the Nintendo life for while the Wii U was failing. So right. I understand, and I have a lot of nostalgic memories for that thing. It's just It's hard to say that actually looking in retrospective, but I get it too. A lot of devs would like to bring over their games to the modern platforms, but they said it themselves. A lot of DS and 3DS games are hard to port due to the reliability of the dual screen.
Yeah.
Some people found a way. Capcom figured a way to get their DS games out, but it's just hard.
So my question is this: so like how usually when Sony delists a game or Xbox does it, you can usually you know download the game from your history, your purchase history. Can you do that for the 3DS?
I want to say yes. So
Okay.
making brand new purchases, I think, are done.
Yeah,
Gonzo.
they were done.
I think if you have it already, you should be able to re-download it.
Okay, that's perfect. As long as you can go back to your re-download history, that's cool.
Yes, because that's what they did with the Wii. When the Wii Shop channel closed on the Wii U, that's what they did. You were able to re-download things.
Okay, I'd be shocked if you wouldn't be able to do that.
And
That's
then
wild.
the meme is out there, but it's easy to mod these systems.
Mm-hmm.
These games have already been archived by the homebrew community. They're fine, and then you have somebody named the completionist who just bought the entire library, which was worth like $18,000.
I saw that. I was like, dude, that's so not a lot of money. Like 20 grand will get you an entire games library or consoles.
And props to him. He did all that. He backed them all up on hard drives and SD cards, and he donated to the the historic video game foundation.
That was cool of him.
So these games are preserved. They're out there. So they are at least preserved officially, and the homebrew community has them unofficially.
Dang. I wonder what something like that would be worth, like in like 20 years from now.
Probably a lot, because right now we try to find you a copy of Persona Q2, and that thing's already running 60.
I know, it's crazy. That's like day one prices right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. I gotta hurry up and get those games before they get any higher.
PSA: if you're wanting to get any Wii U, Wii, DS, or 3DS games, you need to do it now, because those things are going to skyrocket.
Definitely. That's just, and those aren't even like the best selling games either. So that's not even the in demand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine something like Fire Emblem or something.
Ooh,
Like, man. Ugh.
exactly.
Like, I'm glad I got my one Tales of game on there.
Mm-hmm.
No Tales of Abyss. Shout out to my homie Justin for that, mind you, because he totally gave it to me.
Nice.
Which I was super surprised by, but I was super appreciative of it. I'll definitely take that. But it sucks to see them go, when you just can't outlive the PS Vita.
Yeah, you just have the power of an angry mod to make Sony get scared and say, all right, we won't do it.
Yes, the power of mob mentality. Yeah, they shut that thing down. They were like, yo, put it back up, put it back up. Like the same day. I was surprised when that happened, because when I saw the post, I literally instantly went to, I bought like 2-3 things from them. And that's really all I wanted, because all the rest of the games are kind of like, meh. And they had it back up the next day, and I was kind of upset because I spent like $70 on fucking Vita games, and
They got you.
They got me. That's how they do it. It's funny because like I think when that happened too, that was like that day or two was like the highest the Vita sales have been in a while, and people were just like, "Yeah, what the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could literally just not have done that.
Who knows? There could have been a strategy they were planning the whole time.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to do it again.
I think that'll be if they can finally get their shit together and figure out their PlayStation Premium thing and port everything to the PS5. I think that's when they'll try to do it again. Outside of that, they can't, because they haven't figured that shit out.
They can't. I'd be shocked.